All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to this River Channel broadcast of the first round of the section and regional tournament for the WIAA, the Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association. And this is your hometown Hudson Raiders in blue, playing from left to right on your screen. The number one seed in the section and taking on the Eau Claire North High School Huskies in white, playing from right to left on your screen. And the Huskies were seeded number 8 in the region. And the Raiders come right on the attack and get a corner kick attempt here, which they're pretty good at. Sneaking that ball in, but removed and ejected by the Huskies. Raiders then move the ball out, and Huskies get a big clear all the way out to goalkeeper Talon Sheets, senior goalkeeper. And will be a Huskies throw-in deep in their own territory. These two teams have faced off before. They are neighboring communities, so to speak. Eau Claire is about an hour east of Hudson on I-94, the main freeway in kind of cuts through Wisconsin, and but close enough that these are two of the larger communities on the west side of the state, and so these boys have grown up playing against each other in school ball, traveling soccer. For some that play basketball and other sports, they play against some of these boys in those sports too, most likely. So fun rivalry here on the field. Eau Claire is a much larger city community than Hudson. Eau Claire has probably 2 or 3 times the population at least that Hudson has, and has 2 high schools. So there's Eau Claire North, which is who's playing here today, and then Eau Claire Memorial, which as of late has been a pretty solid soccer powerhouse as well. And the Raiders may end up playing them here, but 2 high schools there to both part of the Big Rivers Conference as well. So these teams have played before. Raiders have taken the victory, and we'll see what happens today. That's Connor Sparling putting the ball in deep into the territory. 2 Sparling boys on this Raider team. Twin brothers, Connor on defense, number 11 here with the ball right now. And his brother Aaron, who is, big header in there, and a save by the goalkeeper for the Huskies. But Aaron Sparling is one of the captains of the team and the leading point scorer for the team as well, having an outstanding season, probably roughly 16 goals or so on the season, and playing well, and has his team primed and ready, hopefully, for a good run here in the playoffs. Along with Aaron Sparling, Harry Ross, number 10, is a captain, and number 6, Nikki Allenoff, is the junior captain. So Harry Ross and Aaron Sparling, senior captains. Nikki Allenoff back on the defensive end is the junior captain that the Raiders typically have involved as well. Wasman winds up to take that kick. Owen Wasman, number 7, and got under it a little too much and put that through the uprights, and that'll be a goal kick for the Huskies. This is, just to be clear, a recorded broadcast. The video was recorded the night of the game, and I am recording this audio and over the video at a little later date here due to a conflict in my schedule to be at the game. So I don't get to see the whole screen. I don't always, and there's no audio right now. I think it comes on a little bit later. But bear with me. My name is Jeff Ian. I'm part of the River Channel soccer team that broadcasts both boys soccer in the fall and girls soccer in the spring. And I played soccer for probably about 18 years and have coached it for many more years, and really kind of been around the game for close to 50 years. And so what I don't see and don't hear, I can probably make a pretty good guess at, and I'll do my best. So, but again, thanks for tuning in to this recording. It's awfully fun. And there's Aaron Sparling, just talking about him being the team's leading scorer, picking up kind of a stray ball there by Harry Ross, and kind of a spinning weird ball. And Aaron is nothing but aggressive, and he just went in. It looked like everybody was kind of looking at that ball and what it was doing, and Aaron just went in and drove it into the goal. So Aaron's got both sets of goal scoring skills. He can be very technical and score beautiful goals, but he's also scrappy and can get in there, and he'll score on whatever opportunity presents itself. So nicely scored, Mr. Sparling, and that's a Raiders 1-0 lead at about 6 minutes in the match. And we'll have a Huskies kickoff here in a minute. It's like the referee is waiting for a clock adjustment. There it is. Clock must have ran a little extra long at some point, probably after the goal was scored. So adjusted. Goalkeepers always hold the official score. Oof. That's a close one. Talon Sheets coming out for that ball and kind of ran out of real estate to use his hands, so he waited for it, and it got a little close for comfort, but nicely played by Talon. There's Owen Netterlow streaking in, sending a nice ball back, but look at that. There was about 6 Husky defenders there. Ready to disrupt. That's what the Raiders typically see as teams really buckling in to play defense and just trying to make it as hard as possible for the Raiders to put the ball through there. But somehow they find a way. We'll see if they can do more. A 1-0 goal, so it's tight, or 1-0 lead for the Raiders. That's a tight one, and certainly anything can happen at this stage of the match. So goal kick here for the Huskies. Huskies with some nice little ball movement there, but the Raiders defense is awfully strong. They play defense all over the field. Their ultimate goal is they want to keep it in the offensive end for the entire match if they can. But the only way you can do that is if you are playing defense everywhere. And you'll see that their strikers up front are playing defense. Their midfielders are. Everybody is. So nice header in and gathered in by the Eau Claire North goalkeeper. And he's going to roll it out short right in front of the goal, and they get a big boot out of his teammate to clear it. Huskies trying to make something happen there in the middle of the field, but it's Netterlow, again, pressuring. See, and just a little bit of pressure makes people have to react. And again, when you use your feet, it gets tricky. So that's why you always should be pressuring every ball you can. Big ball in there, nicely. Ooh, nice defensive play there by the Huskies. Hard little collision there by players. There's that Netterlow with the ball for the Raiders, going for a little chip. Maybe a little heavy and a little wide, but there's a nice setup play. Ball's back in. Get the feeling there's something about to happen, but Raiders keep moving it around. It's a little ragtag right now, and it's going to be a Huskies throw-in. Raiders bring that ball back. There's Harry Ross in the middle of the field with the ball. Harry's in his senior year. He's been essentially a 4-year starter for the Raiders, I want to say. Just a fun player to watch. It was fun to watch him and his brother Sam on the field together as well. Sam graduated a few years ago with my older son from the team, but Harry's been just he's just a player that he's got some skills and that are hard to, you just don't see too often in high school players, with the way he can use his body and his feet and distract with both at a very high level. So it's definitely fun watching Harry play. And I'll miss that after he graduates. It's Jackson Willett back at the center D, getting it out. Here's Connor Sparling now. The defensive side of the Sparling boys. Aaron's more on the offensive. Oh, there's a big blast and a nice save by the Eau Claire North goalkeeper. So Aaron's more the offensive half of that Sparling duo, and Connor is the defensive half. Big punt there, gets it out into the offensive end of the Huskies. There's Nicky Allenoff collecting that ball, gets it up to Ross. About 10 minutes into the match, Raiders continue to lead 1-0. Up 3 shots on goal so far. Ball comes in. Oof. Netterlow really hustling. He's right where he should be, but the goalkeeper was on top of him, so had to do something. Tried to do a little shot, and but when you rush, you almost always put the ball over and or wide, but pretty typically you get under it too much because you just don't have the time to wait for that ball to come down where you want it. And Owen puts that ball over the goal, and Huskies have another goal kick here. Again, ball moving around. Raiders keeping it in their offensive end. Working and gets a corner kick. That's one thing the Raiders try to do often, is try to set up these corner kicks, because they are quite adept at it as a team of scoring off corner kicks. I would hazard to guess a good 10 to 12 of their, it's a nice ball. Nobody home to really put that one where it should be. Nice play. It's going to be another corner kick for the Raiders, though. So getting back to my previous statement, I would hazard to guess the Raiders have scored at least probably 10 goals this season off corner kicks, roughly, give or take. But lots of players skilled at using their head, skilled at knowing kind of what's going to happen and where to be, and athletic enough to sometimes out-jump opponents to get there. There's Harry Ross going in a deep penetrating play. Sometimes off the corner kick, they play that little short two-man game, and Harry brings it in, but a dynamic shoulder save by one of the Husky defenders gets that ball out, and then a quick extra shot by the Raiders saved by the Huskies goalkeeper. And now the Huskies trying to make something happen on the offensive end, but the Raiders pressure is just tough to beat. There's a nice ball, gets through. Oh my goodness. I'm not sure. I think that was either Henry Vandenbark or Aaron Sparling, and they got the ball right kind of where they wanted, but again, kind of rushed there. Needed to get something off. Defense was closing in, and they kind of had an open goal opportunity because the goalkeeper had come far out, and he was trying to head back into the goal. So, but the ball goes wide, unfortunately. So our score continues to sit at Hudson Raiders in blue, with 1 goal versus the Eau Claire North High School Huskies in white with 0 goals. Raiders again pressuring in. And gets out to Connor Sparling. It's Owen Netterlow with a nice chip. Stays in. It's Aaron Sparling there keeping it in. Tries to send in a low ball. Gets to Wasman, but disrupted by the Huskies and cleared. But the Raiders are popping it right back in. Woo! There's a play. Netterlow challenging the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper just getting enough to get some hands and knock it out. And there'll be a Raiders throw-in. Quick one by Connor Sparling over to Ross. Gets it back to Connor, or to Vandenbark. Wasman going for a little heel flick there to Sparling, but gets disrupted by the Huskies. Ball out wide. Vandenberg trying to stick it through, but a little too much pace on that, and tough angle, and gets out of bounds. Will be a goal kick for the Huskies. Big boot up, but held in by the Raiders. Played about 16 and a half minutes. I'd say probably a good 15 minutes or even more has been in the on the Husky side of the field, with the Raiders applying lots of pressure to keep that ball where they want it. Huskies trying to get that ball out of the defensive end, but again, picked up by the Raiders. There's Netterlow finding the ball on his feet after interesting little play there, and the Huskies keep working. They are working their hardest to get that ball out and into the offensive end, but the Raiders' defense continues to be strong. Big ball attempt there, hits a Husky in the back, and kind of disrupts the flow for the Raiders, and the Huskies are going to try to make something out of that. Get the ball out wide. Send the ball up. Get the ball deep into Raiders territory, and something is called. Not sure if that's an offside. I think they did call offside on that long pass up. Again, hard to see when I can't see the whole screen and there's no audio at this moment in the recording. I do believe it comes on at some point, so I'll know a little bit more about what's going on, but that was very clearly probably an offside call. Connor Sparling puts it up. Gets to his brother. He's going to work it down to the line, and he's either going to there. He gets a little pop-out play. Nicely played back and forth again. But I think we've got an offside now on the Raiders, which makes sense. Sparling was literally on the goal line, passing it back, and then got passed to again. So couldn't quite see where all the Huskies were, but offsides is quite likely in that situation, and the Huskies will have a kick right on the line, basically. There's the audio. Just came on. So now we'll have a little more information as we record this session. So again, this is a River Channel broadcast. Certainly happy to have people that tuned in live, but also appreciative of anybody watching this recording later on. So I'm Jeff Hyan. I'm a Hudson resident, longtime traveling coach for a number of teams here in Hudson, mostly ones my boys played on over the years, and but also a school coach in my education career over on the Minnesota side of the St. Croix River, where I coached boys and girls soccer for a number of years as well. So happy to be here, and Raiders continue to pound it, trying to see what they can do. We're 20 minutes into, looks like the clock has stopped. I think the referee will probably have to jump on that at some point, or the clock has not been started. Raiders will continue to push that ball around. Yeah, there the ref saw it. Signaled stop the clock, but the clock was stopped, so he's going to go over and have it reset. Probably needs to take or add a couple minutes onto it. About a minute. I thought it was a little longer, but that's cool. Here we go. Raiders will line up here. Chip in, kind of big, knocked out by Eau Claire's goalkeeper. Not sure he had to do that. Can't quite see from the angle, but you always got to play it safe when you're a goalkeeper. He bats it out, and that's going to be a corner kick for the Raiders now. So we'll see what happens with that. Looks like Harry Ross and Vandenbark in the corner there.
Coming in for Hudson, number 7, Owen Wasman. And for Eau Claire North, number 3,
Right, a low corner kick in there, and Raiders got a shot off, but again, had to kind of rush that and sends it over the goal. And that's why you didn't see the shots on goal change, because the SOG on your screen, shots on goal, that is recording shots that are actually could score if they did. So it's shots that might hit the post or the crossbar or are saved by the goalkeeper or go in the goal. Anything wide or high would not qualify as a shot on goal. So that's why you didn't see that one recorded here. Raiders keep moving this ball. We're now about 22 and a half minutes into the first half. Raiders continue to hold the thinnest of leads with a 1-0 score on the board. Aaron Sparling with that one goal as well. So Huskies defense holding up. Lots of pressure. Again, out of those 22 and a half minutes, probably 22 minutes has been, maybe 21 minutes has been in the Raiders offensive end. Raiders playing it out wide, gets out there, it's going to be a Huskies throw. Big clear by the Huskies, trying to get it up the field and see if they can make something happen. And there's Jackson Ouellette, junior defender, moving that ball up the field to Connor Sparling. the ball wide to Wasman's going to try to chase that down, but it's a little out of his reach, and he's got some speed. So ball really flies on the turf fields these days, so it can be really hard to catch up to sometimes. There's Harry Ross threading the needle. Big bicycle play by Sparling, and that ball kind of bounces off. Definitely doesn't go in the goal. Aaron was kind of calling for it. He thought something was going on, but it wasn't. And Aaron's getting a little handsy and pushy there, so he gets a foul. And I think he had his juices flowing a little bit off that bicycle kick, and draws the foul and slows everything up. And the Huskies will have a kick here from about the 31-yard line of the football field. Nice ball up, but nobody in the Huskies going after those balls either. So the Raiders getting on, we call those a 50-50 ball, because they're sort of just kicked to space, and you often will see players challenging, but the Raiders are really, it's one of the reasons they're maintaining control of this game, is they're really just going after and winning all those 50-50 balls without much challenge. So here they are, pushing it up at the 25-minute mark. Harry Ross playing it wide to Connor Sparling, who then plays it wide over to Owen Wasman. Harry Ross keeping it going, tap dancing. He's got those, I always call it sticky feet. The ball just, he knows how to keep that ball on his feet, but he's also just got the skill for it. Hard ball off Vandenberg, his face maybe, and there it is. Oh, Harry Ross getting that ball bouncing into that weird territory again, and there's Aaron Sparling just kind of in the right place at the right time, but also aggressive enough to go after that ball. And Aaron Sparling, number 9, with his second goal of the night. And the Raiders now own the 2-0 lead over the visiting Eau Claire North Huskies. And we'll gear up here for
scoring for Hudson,
kickoff.
number 9, Aaron Sparling.
So the Huskies get the ball down to their territory, but again, the Raiders' defense appears to hold strong and disrupts that, and is now starting to move the ball up the field to their offensive end. 2-goal leads are definitely nice, but they're definitely nothing that makes anybody comfortable. It's very easy to score a goal. I don't say easy, but you never know what can happen with odd plays, with penalties in the box that can happen, and the way the referees interpret that, etc., etc. So 2-goal lead can very quickly turn into a 2-1 lead, or even just go back to a 2-2. Oh, there's a streaky ball through, and Sparling again off the great penetrating play by Owen Wasman, and that ball kind of goes all over the place. Getting a handshake there. Wasman's like, man, that should have been my goal, but it kind of got disrupted and taken away from Owen, and Aaron again was in the right place, and but he made a really nice little play there to
and scoring once again for a hat trick for Hudson, number 9, Aaron Sparling.
Did a really nice move to get that ball where he wanted to score it. So that goal wasn't quite as easy as it looked, and maybe the way I made it sound at first. It was a nice play by Aaron too. So good penetrating move by Wasman, good finish by Aaron Sparling, and that gives Aaron Sparling the hat trick. Raiders have a lot of goal scorers on their team, so that puts Aaron probably at about 18 goals on the season, 17 goals. It's probably Wasman's 8th assist or so. But the Raiders have 5 players that have scored at least probably 7 or 8 goals. And another, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another 7 players who have scored 5 or less goals. So lots of goal scorers. So usually they spread it around quite a bit. So for Sparling to have the hat trick, it's not often how it is with this Raider team. There's usually a whole multitude of people scoring in those situations, and there's Sparling still looking for more, charging in there. Nice play by the Huskies goalkeeper, though. Some nice plays by, I don't have his name, but that Husky goalkeeper keeping this score from potentially being worse, 5 or 6 to nothing. It could be if he hadn't made some nice plays, but Raiders resetting and looking for more. Again, a 3-goal lead starts to have a bit of comfort, but I can tell you there's no coach with over 50 minutes left in a game that's very comfortable with a 3-0 lead either. So the Raiders will keep pouring it on, and I can tell you there's not a group of high school boys that doesn't want to keep trying to score either. So the Raiders will keep that going. The wall gets backed off. Harry Ross runs through it. Sparling plays it low and over to Vandenbark, who takes a big shot, and not a bad shot. Got some serious foot on that ball, but just kind of under it a little too much, and they send that ball above, and it's going to be a goal kick for the Huskies at about the 29-minute mark. Harry Ross again, unchallenged, takes the Huskies' goal kick out of the air and starts the new advancement towards the goal. When you're not challenging for those balls, you just make it much easier for a team like the Raiders to keep the ball in their offensive end. So one thing you try to teach in youth soccer is that somebody has to challenge those punts and goal kicks and big throws by the goalkeepers. That's why sometimes goalkeepers will just do a short rollout to a teammate, because you're going to maintain control at least, and maybe you can get that ball passed up the field. But when you punt it, it's 50-50, and if 2 people are challenging, you never know what's going to happen. But if no one is challenging and only one team is going for it, they're going to control that ball quite a bit more, which is kind of what we're seeing here with the Raiders. Here we go, Raiders moving around. Vandenbark sends it out to Aaron Sparling, who's going to chip it in. Nice header there. And nice play by the goalkeeper. Owen Netterlow there, trying to get a header on that ball, kind of playing it down, because goalkeepers sometimes expect that you're going to head it up. So sometimes you will see players head that ball down, not just down into the goal, but down before the goal, hit the ground and bounce it into the goal, or things like that. And you pick up some speed and get some power on it that way. But that was nicely played by the Huskies goalkeeper. So despite giving up 3 goals, he's made some nice plays too to keep this match somewhat close so far. It's going to be a corner kick for the Raiders here at about the 32-minute mark, and we'll see what they can do with this. They're, like I said, awfully good at corner kicks. Nicely headed out by the Huskies, but Vandenbark is there to take a left-footed strike at that ball, and again gets under it a little bit and puts it over the goal. Sounds like we have some substitutions before the Huskies take their goal kick here. Raiders again on the attack. Swarming defense by the Huskies puts the end to that, but Marias sticks it in low and hard, but again broken up by the Huskies. You'll see they're going to have 5 or 6 guys packed into that middle right in front of the goal at a minimum, which does make it very hard to penetrate with passing or dribbling. They get the ball up. Allenoff and Packard, and now Connor Sparling or Vandenberg there with Harry Ross, and they quickly transition that ball from their defensive end to the offense. That's what the Raiders do, and they're going to bring it in. Sneak that ball in front. Nobody home. Lots of white, kind of that pinball setup, and they get that ball out. Another ball in. Raiders just unrelenting, just constant pressure in that goal area, whether it's chips, runs. And there's the ball, nicely played by the goalkeeper again. Having a pretty nice game despite the score. Raiders keeping the pressure on. We're at about 34 minutes now in the first half. Good turn there. A little chip, bounces around, cleared by the Huskies. And it looks like an offsides may be called on the Raiders anyway, and the Huskies will line up for a free kick. And the Huskies, they get it up there, but it just goes off the feet awkwardly, and the Raiders pick it up on defense. Raiders continue to lead on your screen. They're in blue from playing from left to right, and continue to lead 3-0 off the Aaron Sparling hat trick. Netterlow does a little chip in, but played hard off the head of one of the Huskies, and that's going to be a Raiders corner kick. Harry Ross and Henry Vandenberg heading over to handle that, but they are going to play it short. Vandenberg lays it out to Ross, who kind of chips it up at a weird angle. A nice header in, nice header out by the Huskies. But there's the Raiders again to pick it up. Vandenberg's sort of a quiet, stable force there. He's kind of just always where you need him to be, and disrupts things. So typically always some pretty solid play on there to keep that ball where the Raiders want it. Another goal kick for the Huskies. We're now down to about 4 minutes left in the first half. Huskies playing a little bit of pressure there to try to shake things up, and almost did. Raiders come back though. Aaron Sparling with the ball now, and he's going to set a chip up. Oh, beautiful play. Nice chip. Owen Wasman there to head it. He kind of did what I talked about before. He got a solid head on that ball, drove it into the ground in front of the goal, and it just nothing anyone can do about that. That's a beautiful combination. Great heading play by Wasman. Looks like Eau Claire North goalkeeper was hurt. Not sure exactly what happened there. Didn't see any real collision. But his body was maybe moving awkwardly until that header. You kind of think the ball's going one way, doing one thing, and then all of a sudden the header happens, and kind of disrupts what you think is going to happen, and then your body has to adjust, and sometimes it doesn't adjust real well. So we'll hope he's okay, and we'll be patient here as we let them attend to the player. Sounds like the goalkeeper has gotten up, and not sure if that means he's staying in the game. When position players get hurt, they usually have to leave the match.
Scoring for Hudson, number 7, Wassman.
But often, if a goalkeeper is hurt and they get a chance to recover, the referees will let them stay in the match. So I can't actually see what's going on yet till the ball gets down there to see if there's a new goalkeeper or not. But Eau Claire trying to make something happen offensively here. Raiders defense is tenacious. Push the ball up. It'll be another Raiders throw-in. They're going to get the ball into their offensive half pretty quickly here. Harry Ross moving it up. We're down to about 3 minutes now in the first half. Raiders leading 4-0. Vandenbark with the ball. Harry Ross with a little deception there. Lets the ball just roll through his legs. Big header over by Netterlow, and I think he kind of used the Eau Claire North defender. He kind of used them as leverage, but you can't really grab them and use them to propel your jump. So, or it's offsides, one or the other. So, big kick from the Huskies. Raiders gather it up. It's Quinn Packard now with the ball. He's going to send it up. And the Raiders Packard again. Quinn Packard is a sophomore player for the Raiders. He sees quite a bit of playing time, and they'll be looking to definitely have him be a contributor next year when about 8 or 9 seniors will be graduating from Hudson High School, and this year's juniors and sophomores will take over the team for next year. And I do think the team is in good shape, so it'll be well, I'm still excited to see where this team goes this year. I'm already getting excited for next fall's soccer with these boys. So now we're down to about 1 minute. Quick throw. Wasman. A lot of defense down there. Packard over to Netterlow in about 40 seconds now. Big shot there coming in. Goes wide and high though. Now we're down to about 20 seconds, and that'll probably do it for the first half. Might get the kickoff. Down about 15 seconds.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2.
Here's your half, and we'll see you back in a few minutes for the second half, folks. And here we are back at it, folks. It's the second half of the regional part of the section tournament. The Wisconsin Interscholastic Athletic Association, the WIAA regional and sectional tournament to find out who's going to get to state. You have your Eau Claire North Huskies in white playing from right to left on your screen. They're visiting Hudson Raiders Stadium in lovely Hudson, Wisconsin, right on the border with Minnesota on the St. Croix River. The Raiders are in blue. Raiders are in blue playing right to left on your screen. The Huskies are in white playing from left to right on your screen. Raiders, the number one seed, continuing their strong play with a first half containing 4 goals, and that's where our lead in our game is 4-0 Raiders right now. Aaron Sparling with the hat trick, and Owen Wasman with the nice header goal. There's a trip on the Raiders, and they'll now have a free kick and see if they can add to that 4-0 lead here. Winner of this match will play on the following Saturday, and in the quest to go deep in, nice save there. Looks like there was a change in goalkeeper. I didn't really get to see that. So the Eau Claire has their backup goalkeeper or a different goalkeeper. Don't know if that's the backup, but Anthony automatic, instantly here makes a nice save and gets that ball out, and the Raiders will have a throw in now. Huskies trying to get that ball up. Nice little through ball there. Oh, just still goes. Boy, just when they start to get something, ball just hits the feet weird on the Huskies there, and they lose it back to the Raiders. Netterloaf fighting it out in the corner. Twisting, spinning move there. Goes for the chip in and just not able to really get his hip around on that one, and goes out of bounds. Nice again, step up by the Huskies. Raiders kind of trying to, I think they might think it's getting easier and easier, but the Huskies are going to make them work for it more than that. And Huskies get it down, but it looks like now we have Raiders backup goalkeeper. Not really a backup because Tyler Hindall, who's in there now, has played some really nice games in goal. He and Talon often split time, and nice to see him in the match here. Nice corner opportunity for the Huskies. I think that might have been their first corner kick opportunity, and put a nice ball in. It's a little low, a little hard. Nobody there, unfortunately, and the Raiders get it out. Huskies continue to move it up the line. Some decent passing sequences there, and but the Raiders get it out and will now have a throw in. Quick turn there, bring it all the way back to Hindall. Pushing it up this field. Big kick. There is a win for the Huskies. One of the first wins off those big kicks I've seen from the Huskies. So maybe at halftime they were talking about the need to challenge those balls a little more. Quick ball through. That's Aaron Sparling. He's always hustling. Nice ball across. And Owen Netterlow streaking in, just couldn't time it. And that, I think people always think they see somebody doing that. They get close. They're on the ball. They're charging into it. But there's so many variables there that's still a tough play, even for good players. And so the Raiders don't get anything out of that, but it was a nice setup play by Sparling, and Netterlow was right there, which is all you really want. You want guys in the right place at the right time and see what happens. So Raiders continue to push the ball up. Here's Wasman. Huskies thought they had a throw-in, but they actually got a foul called on Harry Rossi. Kind of had a little bit. Oh, no, I guess it's a throw-in. I guess it went out earlier than anyone even thought. There's Ross again, bringing that ball around nicely, bringing it back to the defense. Like foul on the Raiders is going to give the Huskies a kick here at the 47-minute mark. Big ball up. Huskies challenged that one. Good to see. Raiders won it. And here comes Netterlow streaking in hard. Ball comes through. And of course, who else other than Aaron Sparling with his 4th goal of the night? Holy cats, that's not something I've seen in my 3 years of announcing here. I've certainly seen it as a coach and player, but usually the Raiders have a wide array of scorers, but tonight is Aaron Sparling's night. It's a good hustle play by Owen Netterlow to just make that even a remote possibility. And Aaron with the 4th goal of the night, and that's going to put him at about 19 or 18
scoring for Hudson, number 9, Aaron
on
Sparling.
the season. Pretty exciting. So Raiders now up 5-0 on 9 shots on goal. Got about 22 and a half minutes left in the match, and Raiders are probably starting to get a little bit comfortable, although it is just not in their nature to hold back, because then you never know what can happen. So expect this one to be played the rest of the way just this hard. It's a big throw-in for the Raiders. Probably get to see some other Raiders in the match. I see Caden Lennox must have entered the game, number 13. Connor Hauser with the throw. Still a lot of the starters in, but Coach Solem typically starts to rotate some other players in when the leads get this big. Nice play in there. I'm going to give the Raiders a free kick or a corner kick. Looked like Soren Matson maybe over there. I'm trying to see the number. It's a little dark. Little 2-man game there. Huskies were all over it. Picked it up nicely and disrupted it. Huskies still battling. I love to see it despite the score. That ball actually looked like it was out of bounds, and it was, so it's going to be a goal kick. Good hustle, though, by the Raiders. You always want to keep going after it and see what happens. Raiders continuing to press, moving into the 50th minute of the match. Ball comes out, moved around. Continuing to go a little back and forth there, and the Raiders now advancing it. Ball gets into Caden Lennox there. Now down to about 29 minutes left in the match. Raiders continue to lead 5-0 on 9 shots on goal. And that ball's coming in, and oof. Connor Hauser there would have loved to have tagged that ball. He had a pretty wide open space there, but the defense just moved in and kind of disrupted things and made him rush his shot. But nice play, Connor. Good to be there. Good to see you taking that shot. Raiders stepping in on that and winning that ball easily. Caden Lennox again. But Ben Weaver into the match. Ben's a junior. Can't see all these numbers great in this light. That's number 2. I think that's Sam Youssef. Hauser. It's a nice chip on. Maybe a little wide, but not a bad play. Xavier Island getting it out wide to his teammate. Can't see who that is. It might be Hauser again. Nope. I'm not sure who that was over there. Ball's in. Playing on it, turning it. Yeah, a little too much of a touch there. Gets out of bounds off the Raiders, goes out of bounds. It'll be a Huskies throw in. Raiders getting ready for a throw-in. Looks like Xavier Island coming over to take that, or there's Xavier.
Subbing for Hudson, number 4, Xavier Island. Number 14, Mac Meisel. And number 20, Quinn Johnson.
Nice little crossing play there by the Huskies. It's the closest they've been to making something happen offensively, really. I guess one little pop on Tyler Hindall. But maybe they're knocking on the door a bit here. Raiders have, looks like Quinn Johnson back in the match. A number of their non-starters now in the game. With this one feeling comfortable at 5-0. Raiders now moving that ball up the field at the 55-minute mark. Raiders in blue playing from right to left on your screen, continuing to lead 5-0 as the number 1 seed. They are hoping this will propel them to the next round of the WIAA sectional and regional tournament. Winners of other games, I believe, are still up in the air as of this broadcast. So it's like a foul on the Raiders going to give the Huskies a free kick here. This is almost like a corner kick, maybe even a little bit better since it's off the corner a bit. See what they can do here. That's a pretty nice ball in, but a lot of pressure by Raiders defense, and so nothing going there for the Huskies, but they maintain control, keep moving the ball. Nicely played out there. The Huskies advancing a little bit. Take a big shot. Goes off thought it went off a Raider, but must not have. And even Tyler Hindall looked like he thought it was maybe going to be a corner kick, but goal kick is what's called, and the Raiders take it. And they'll start trying to advance up the field. A lot of ball movement. Raiders get it back to Ben Weaver. Sends the ball long up the sideline, but the Huskies are able to pick that up and play it back to their goalkeeper. Now it looks like the Huskies maybe have their original goalkeeper back in the match. They had a substitute, the backup in there, and he was wearing a yellow jersey. Now it looks like the original starter, who was wearing a red sweatshirt or red goalie shirt, is back in. And there he is, making a nice catch. So glad he recovered from whatever was ailing him and is back in the match. It's like a kick for the Huskies. Yeah, it's just the other side of midfield and see if they can pop it into the offensive end here. Big ball in. Not a bad ball, but headed out nicely by the Raiders. Played back by the Huskies. Lots of Raiders pressuring, but they're able to keep something moving here. Huskies continuing to apply some pressure here. Big ball in and just a little out of the reach of the Huskies, but Tyler Hindall gathers that up and prepares to give it a ride. Huskies gathering in, trying to make something happen, and Raiders defense continuing to be strong, disrupting. Good step in play there by number 2. I'm not sure what his name is, actually. There's no number 2 on our lineup card. I'll have to track him down at a later date, find out who he is. Another free kick here around midfield for the Huskies. They're starting to have a little more time in their offensive half. Still really looking for a truly credible, viable shot type. There it is. That was their closest spot. Kind of got caught. It probably should have been a goal for the Huskies, but number 21 there of the Huskies, who was right there, his body was kind of moving, and it's awfully hard to shoot in a different direction when you're running towards the ball. It can be tough, and he ends up sending it wide a little bit, and that's why the Raiders have a goal kick here. Getting a little back and forth here, some throw-ins. Raiders and Huskies continuing to kind of go at it. No one making a lot of gains right now. Huskies continuing to apply some pressure of their own and see if they can knock on the door here a bit, but the Raiders get it out. And their non-starters looking to make something happen here offensively themselves. Soren Matson in the corner. Chooses a good angle, but just that angle of that pass was off just a hair, so intercepted by the Huskies. Pick it up and reset. Huskies, when you're in a situation like this and you're down 5 goals, kind of your first goal as a coach is just to say, hey, let's get one. And then you build from there. So with about 16 and a half minutes left, it's a pretty tall order to look for 5, but you start with 1 and see what happens. Raiders are going to work hard to keep that shutout. There's nothing that looks better for a team in the playoffs than to have shutouts. Challenge in the middle there on won by the Raiders. They won the ball, but hit the turf. Here's Sam Youssef in the game, putting a little pressure on number 3, and Xavier Island there chasing down the ball. Looks like some substitutes happening here. Now hitting about 15 minutes left in the match. Hudson Raiders in blue continue to lead 5-0. This ball out wide. Nice sneaky little ball in for the Raiders, but nobody home on that one. And the Huskies come out looking to see if they can push this up and make something happen. And again, kind of just an awkward ball off, I can't tell his number, maybe 14 or 10. Working awfully hard, but just having some challenges getting his feet on that ball in the right way, unfortunately. Clock keeps ticking, and we're down to almost 14 minutes now in the half. Referee stopping the clock, issuing a yellow card to the Raiders. It looked like 18 Calvin Lassard, freshman, had entered the game, and he's gonna have to leave the game at least briefly. Calvin usually gets a little more playing time, but didn't see a lot of him this match, which could mean a lot of things, but glad to see him on the field. Don't like seeing him get a yellow card. I believe there's a cumulative effect to yellow cards in the playoffs for teams and players potentially, and this Raider team, unlike past teams, has really played card-free soccer all season. There's the occasional yellow card here and there on this team, but some of the teams in the past have been carded pretty regularly, and this team has been pretty strictly business and gentlemanly, we might put it, and yet still quite aggressive and all of that. So we're now down to about 13 minutes in the half. Oh, that ball just snuck by Austin Nava. Raiders maintain control, though. See what they can put together. These guys love to put something on the board as well. So there's Ben Weaver sending it out wide. Ball goes in, headed out nicely by the Huskies, and they're headed back by the Raiders. It just took a little too much time. And that ball eventually gets cleared by the Huskies. No more substitutions at about the 12-minute mark. Time's starting to get away from any Husky chances, but they will still be working to try to put one on the board. Oftentimes you'll see that these waning minutes, teams lapse a little bit, and teams can get on the board. We will hope the Raiders continue strong and keep this shutout going, but it happens. Looks like the Raiders will have a corner kick here, which should be a fun one to watch. There's a crew that'll be a big part of the future of Hudson soccer playing right now. And oh no, sorry, it's a free kick for the Huskies. Must have been a foul of some sort, and that clock keeps ticking. I'd like to thank my friend and colleague Jeff Munter. As part of the River Channel team, he really does a lot of the work, almost all the work. He and occasionally some others bring all the equipment in, and they set up the sound and the video and the internet connections, and have everything set up to look good and sound good. And I typically just show up and talk. So Jeff was in charge of all the technical side of this match, so thank you, Jeff, for doing a great job. And the River Channel certainly appreciates everyone tuning in live to this match, if that was you, and or watching the recording if that happens to be you. So thanks again, and please look for us on Saturday afternoon. I believe it's 4 o'clock matchup here at Hudson Raider Stadium, and River Channel will be broadcasting again, and I should be there live. So Huskies continuing to push it. They're going to just get a shot, but just out of reach. Raiders decide to play that ball out of bounds. Be a Huskies throw deep in their offensive end, and see if they can get something interesting going here offensively on the Raiders. Here's the throw. Play it out. Kind of waited a bit, playing a long ball across, and Raiders intercept that and start pushing it up. McMazel. Well, it took a weird little hit, but it came up nicely for the Raiders. But Ben Weaver unable to maintain that control, and we're now down to about 8 minutes in the match. Raiders holding on to that 5-0 lead off of 4 goals from Aaron Sparling, and the 5th goal off Owen Wasman. Initially 3 from Sparling, then Wasman, and then 1 more this half from Aaron Sparling. And I imagine, I'm starting to get the feeling it's going to sit somewhere around here when this clock is done ticking. But looks like the Raiders should pull this one out, and certainly want to wish the Eau Claire North congratulations on a successful season. Success can be measured in many ways, and they showed a lot of heart here, not giving up at any minute in this match, and we wish all their seniors luck in the future with whatever their endeavors might be. And the Raiders are looking strong going into the second round of the playoffs, and not sure who that will be yet, but they will play Saturday here at Hudson Raider Stadium. I believe it's at 4 o'clock, but maybe it might get adjusted. You don't know. So check the school website to know for sure. There's Austin Nava fighting it out. He puts a really nice ball across, and oh my, Ben Weaver had a great opportunity there. Austin Nava really hustling, scrapping, sends that ball back nicely. Ben Weaver coming in nicely on it, and sometimes you just don't hit it right. Again, it's that foot thing. You don't always do exactly what we want, but Ben put a nice strike on that and just sent it wide left. But a fun play there. Now down to about 6 minutes in the match. Tyler Hindall out on that one, sends it out wide to his teammates, and they're going to send it up in a hurry to see if they can put something more on the board here. Ball comes back to Caden Lennox, sorry. Goes out of bounds. It's like Quinn Packard over there would get throwing it into someone else to take the throw. Can't see the number. It might be Quinn Johnson. Big ball in. Nobody really home for that one. Quinn Packard there. Looks like that was Sam Youssef who crossed that ball in. Nice header out by the Huskies. Caden Lennox trying to make something happen there in the middle. Little chip in by Xavier Island, but gathered in nicely by the goalkeeper for the Huskies. And again, the Raiders with some push here at the end. We're down to about 4 minutes now. And the ball comes in hard on the goalkeeper. Oh, and the Raiders do score. Austin Nava, but it looks like offside. There, they see the ref pointing. Nava a little frustrated. Thought he had one. Good scrappy play nonetheless. And but no goal. That'll sit at 5-0 still, and the Huskies take the kick. Ball goes out of bounds. Raiders with the throw. We're now at about 3 minutes in the match. There's Nava trying to make a little something happen, getting a couple guys on him, and he somehow got through there and almost had a pretty nifty play there. But lets it go out of bounds. Xavier Island with the throw. Sam Youssef on the ball. As Caden Lennox gearing up for a shot, sends it high and wide. We're now down to about 2.5 minutes with some substitutes coming in. Looks like the Raiders are going to likely take this 5-0 lead into the books and move on in the playoffs. But we will see. I've seen stranger things happen in less than 2 minutes in a soccer match. So we will see. Ball goes out. Husky's going to get an attempt down here, potentially. A little hustle play. Sends a nice cross. Oh. Huskies just over pursued. Oh. Again, just the striker up there was a little ahead of the ball, and two nice crosses, a little over pursuing by the center man there for the Huskies, and they miss a couple golden opportunities to put something on the board. But those are tough. I mean, you can't blame the center guy necessarily for being out of position, but tough spots to be in. Raiders gearing up here. We're now down to getting close to the 1 minute call here, and Tyler Hindall taking his time a bit. There might be some subs coming too, which is why he's doing that. And he's going to gear up to take this kick with about 1 minute and 40 seconds left. I'd like to again thank everyone for tuning into the River Channel broadcast on YouTube, also on Facebook. We also broadcast, so if that's a better format for you in the future, just look us up there. And we look forward to having all of the friends and visitors tuning in to our next match as well. Now down to just over a minute and 5 seconds or so here. It's a mad scramble. Everybody's trying to make something desperate happen here. It's the end of the season for the seniors of Eau Claire North. It's always a hard time to end when it could be the last soccer game you ever play, but we certainly wish them all well. Thank them for a great match here. We're now down to just under a minute. Raiders going for a final push, but a good hustle by the Huskies to break that up. Nava again with a really nifty little attempt there, but it plays off the goalkeeper, goes out of bounds. Sitting at about 34 seconds. I'm not sure. Something's off the screen. Not sure what's going on. I don't know if there was a card for a hard foul there. The goalkeeper from Eau Claire has come way out to see what's going on. So a little off center on the camera work there, Jeffrey Munter. But maybe somebody's hurt. That's kind of what I'm guessing. Definitely unfortunate to have an injury with 30 seconds left in the match, but it happens, and looks like we're gearing up here. Goalkeeper's heading back. Kind of lost track if it's a goal kick or a corner kick, but now they're all, nope, coming back out. Looks like it's going to be a corner. Yeah, thought a corner kick. Yep, Raiders are going to get the ball, which generally means they're going to get to do something interesting with it here at the very end. Maybe a walk-off corner kick score. Who knows? We'll see. Clock will start on the ref's whistle. Actually, it would start on the kick. And here we go. Nice ball. Nice header by the Raiders. Just not able to get a solid header on it. Trying to keep it going. Foul on the Huskies. Yeah, kind of not a real attempt to play the ball and just drop the shoulder in. They're making the wall real close. Walking it off. Clock is ticking. We're down to 10 seconds. And congrats to the Raiders on this victory. Try to sneak one in, send it wide. That's going to do it, folks. We'll see you soon. Have a good night. Thanks for tuning in.